Imagine walking into a police station and seeing a high-ranking government minister in a heated face-off with a famous activist. That is exactly what happened recently at the FCT Police Command in Abuja, and the internet is still buzzing about it. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, and the well-known activist, Omoyele Sowore, had a massive confrontation that was caught on camera, and it's a story you definitely don't want to miss. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the latest news, please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel right now so you never miss an update. The whole drama started with a woman named Mrs. Tracy Ohiri. She is a businesswoman who claims that Minister David Umahi owes her a whopping 250 million naira. According to her, this debt goes back about 12 years from the time he was a governor. She says she provided campaign materials and services that were never paid for. But things took a very dark turn when she was arrested in Lagos, accused of cyberbullying, and flown all the way to Abuja for detention. This is where Sowore stepped in, calling the arrest an act of oppression and an abuse of power. When Sowore arrived at the police command, he found the minister right there in a conference room. The atmosphere was extremely tense. In the viral video, you can see Sowore walking up to the minister and telling him point blank that he should not use the police to settle personal scores or civil debts. He basically told the minister that if there's a money issue, it should be handled in a regular court, not by locking someone up. The minister, on the other hand, looked quite unhappy with the confrontation and eventually left the room while his aides tried to manage the situation. Now, the minister's team is telling a different side of the story. They say the minister didn't just order an arrest. They claim they filed a legal petition because the woman was making false accusations and defaming his character online. They even questioned the 250 million naira claim, asking why a campaign from 12 years ago would cost that much. It has turned into a massive he said, she said situation, but the sight of a minister being challenged so boldly by an activist has made this the #1 topic in Nigeria this week. If you think this story is getting interesting, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more. What makes this even more relatable for many people is the involvement of social media personalities like VeryDarkMan, who often talk about how the big men in society treat regular citizens. People are asking, is this a case of a powerful man trying to silence a creditor, or is it a case of someone using social media to harass a public official? Sowore and his legal team have already been working hard and have successfully secured bail for Mrs. Ohiri, but even that wasn't the end of the drama. There were reports that some officials tried to re-arrest her even after the bail conditions were being met. It took a lot of shouting and the presence of many concerned Nigerians to make sure she was actually allowed to go and get medical attention. On the other side, Minister David Umahi is standing his ground. His team released another statement saying all these claims about the debt and even some older allegations of personal misconduct are completely false. They say she's been telling different stories over the years and that they have the right to protect the minister's reputation from lies. They even said that Sowore is just trying to create a show for social media instead of looking for the real truth. It's a complete battle of narratives and the public is caught right in the middle. Even other leaders are starting to speak up. A senator from Kogi State, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, actually came out to call for peace. She said that no matter what is happening, we shouldn't use force to silence people, especially women who are speaking up. She's asking the minister to sit down and talk with Tracy instead of using the police. This has turned from a simple debt case into a huge national conversation about how people in power should behave. It's really a lot to take in, isn't it? 1 minute it's about campaign posters from years ago, and the next minute someone is collapsing in a courtroom. This case is definitely not over, and we are going to keep a very close eye on what the judge says next. Before I go further, I want to know what you think about the senator's advice. Should they just sit down and talk it out? Let me know in the comments. And of course, hit that like button and subscribe so you are the first to know when the next update drops. While the drama was unfolding in Abuja, things were also heating up in the East.
Some youth groups in Ebonyi have come out to defend the minister. They are saying that David Umahi has done a lot of good for the state and that people shouldn't try to pull him down with old stories. They believe the minister is being targeted because of his high-profile position. It's a classic case of loyalty versus the demand for accountability, and it's dividing opinions everywhere. If you are finding this background information interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps us keep the channel growing. But wait, there's more. While some are supporting the minister, other groups, including Ebonyi indigenous in the diaspora, are saying something completely different. They are calling for the big men in power to stop using the police as their personal security for civil matters. They believe that even if the woman is wrong, the way she was handled, being flown from Lagos to Abuja like a high-level criminal, is not fair. This has turned into a massive debate about whether the Nigerian police force is becoming a tool for the powerful. Even the Inspector General of Police has been pulled into the conversation by activists who want a full investigation into how this case was handled. And here is a little secret part of the gist that many people missed. Sowore actually revealed that Tracy isn't the only one. He mentioned that there are other young men still being held in detention in connection with similar issues. He has called on the president to look into his cabinet and make sure his ministers are focusing on their jobs instead of personal fights. It's becoming a huge political headache for the government, and everyone is waiting to see if there will be an official statement from the presidency. The police on their part are trying to play it cool. They officially stated that they are just doing their job by investigating a petition they received. They maintain that cyberbullying is a serious crime under Nigerian law and they have to investigate any report made to them regardless of who makes it. But many Nigerians are asking, if I report my neighbor for owing me money and calling me names, will the police fly them across the country too? That is the question on everyone's lips. It's been a wild ride from a conference room confrontation to a courtroom collapse and finally to a national debate on human rights. This story shows just how powerful social media has become in bringing these issues to light. Without those viral videos, many of us might never have known what was happening behind those closed doors at the police station. What do you think? Should the police stay out of death stories entirely, or is the minister right to protect his name from cyberbullies? Let's talk about it in the comments below. And please, if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to stay updated. Now, let's get into the part that has everyone holding their breath, the legal war that has officially broken out. Just as we thought things couldn't get any more intense, the lawyers have stepped into the ring. On one side, you have Omoyele Sowore and his legal team who are not just asking for bail anymore. They are now calling for a full investigation into how the police handled this entire case. They are arguing that the arrest was basically a kidnapping because she was taken from Lagos to Abuja for a matter they insist is purely about money. If you are enjoying this deep dive, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep the light shining on these stories. But the minister's legal team is firing back with some very strong words. They are calling the whole confrontation at the police station a calculated provocation. They are saying that Sowore didn't go there for justice, but for theatrics to get views on social media. According to the minister's lawyers, the law is very clear. If someone makes false claims and attacks your character online, that is a crime under the Cybercrime Act, and the police have every right to investigate it. They are basically saying, don't use a death claim as an excuse to destroy a man's hard-earned reputation. This is where it gets even juicier. There are now whispers about counter-petitions. Sowore's team is hinting that they might take the minister to a higher court for what they call malicious prosecution. They want the court to declare that the police cannot be used as debt collectors for the powerful. Meanwhile, the minister's camp is insisting that the woman's story about the 250 million naira doesn't even have proper receipts or documentation from 12 years ago. It's a complete legal stalemate. And let's not forget the public's reaction to all this. On Twitter and Facebook, people are creating hashtags and debating whether this is a victory for the common man or a disrespect to an elder and a leader. Some people are even saying that this case will set a big example for how ministers behave in the future. The pressure is so high that even some members of the National Assembly are starting to ask questions behind the scenes. So here we are. A woman on bail but still facing charges, a minister standing his ground, and an activist who says he won't stop until the system is cleaned up. It's like a high-stakes movie, but it's happening right here in real life.